Welcome to Meridian Gymnastics Club. It's the host venue for today's Physical Preparation Masterclass that I'm co-delivering with my good friend Dan Lonsdale, a strength and conditioning coach with stacks of experience both in gymnastics and outside too. In fact, Dan was a strength and conditioning coach which supported me in my previous personal coaching roles, and we've got a really long-standing relationship here. And yeah, he's been a great mentor and friend over the years. As for this gym, it's a fantastic gym, brand new. The club's existed for 5 years now, but they've recently moved here, and yeah, they're going to be a fantastic host for us today. They're actually one of my clients, and yeah, it's just an absolute pleasure to be here for what's going to be a great day. Physical preparation is a really big topic, and we can't talk about all of it in one single masterclass, but today we're really talking about structure and how coaches can or potentially should structure all the different ingredients and assets of a holistic physical preparation program and kind of place it in their day. And I think that's one of the biggest battles that coaches face is how to prioritize and how to know what you say yes to, because that will mean you're saying no to something else. And so today's all about structure. It's less about exercise selection and more about systems. So how do you choose the different components of your daily conditioning, and how do you know what falls into a strength program and for what age? And of course, there's just so much context in that. So we're looking to get through as much of that as possible.
The processes we're going to run through, it's going to be called Inhibit, section number 1. Section number 2, Lengthen. All right, section number 3, Activate and Stabilize. All right, I see the two as very similar things. And then the 4th is, for your warm-up, it's Integrate / Jump and Land. Okay? All right, so this is your Inhibit bit. And what that means, okay, is Inhibit. This is what the foam rolling can do. This is called self-myofascial release. All right, SMR, fancy word, foam rolling. Okay? But the way you do it is super, super important. Okay, so a bit of a bugbear of mine is you'll see foam rolling taking place in the gym, and it's very like this, okay? This absolutely does nothing, okay? Except like you're probably catching up with your mates about what you did last night, okay? So in order for your foam rolling to be really, really useful, what we have to do is get deep, sustained pressure going through the tissue. And when we do that, it can then actually play a role in reducing like a little bit of overactivity in areas that we know can be a little bit overactive, okay? It's still tough. Yeah, it's really, really, really tough when they're doing it. All right, and I'll coach this. So if I'm seeing a big turn out of the hip here, I'll give it a little bit of a hand. So I'll hold the position and I'll encourage that hip turn here from this side, okay? And the reason I do that, Resta, just stay there for a bit. The reason I do that is it's a fundamental movement for me. So if you want to really improve your beam work, you should be able to have a slam in one of these.
I think one of the challenges we face in gymnastics is this perception that all physical preparation has to look like gymnastics, and like we know that's not the case now. It doesn't need to look like gymnastics. In fact, physical preparation exists to fill in the gaps and support an athlete, obviously holistically. So there's a lot that we can adopt from what we kind of call the hybrid model, general preparation, which is strength and conditioning. It's the type of preparation or physical prep that you'd see athletes do across all sports. It's their athletic development from running and jumping and hopping and skipping, jumping and landing. You know, this stuff's not unique to gymnastics. You'll see it in all sports. And so one of the messages that we've tried to get across today, and we are getting across, is ultimately that there is specific preparation which is very important to us. We're always going to need to know how to do a cast handstand and a press to handstand and all of that stuff. But there's equally an important area of general preparation which needs to support the modern day gymnast as well. And so we've had a good time, and we're going to continue to do so throughout the rest of the day, embedding that message into the program. But I like to recommend that out of your warm-ups, most of them are going to be leg-based. So if we use an example of gymnast training 5 days a week, you would do 2 of those as plyometric warm-ups and 2 of those as jumping landing warm-ups. And we've now got a 5th warm-up that we can do something else. Let's just leave that blank for now. This is an important physical preparation concept. It basically shows your physical prep priorities, what I believe are most important to you. So we've got here 8 movements, different ways of moving, that I believe are the most important for technical performance. You've got a lot of other movements that take place, but in terms of what the gymnast will technically be doing, these are our 8. I'm not going to go into loads of detail now, but I would like to highlight number 2 is rebounding. That's basically plyometrics. Okay, you've got to have that. Without that, your gymnast isn't going to be able to develop very far. And it's entirely different to jumping and landing. Thank you. So what's different about this is we're now introducing travel, because all the other exercises, pretty much, that was a neutral up and down. That one is obviously the same exercise. The skipping rope here is up and down. The skipping rope running is pretty much up and down. It's all like vertical work. Now we've included some horizontal travel. It does add another element to it, which is like, are we now going to see that traveling forwards and backwards of the shoulders, or will the rib cage come out because they're trying to make their weight travel forwards? Another key message which is coming across on today's event is the importance of being able to prioritize the activities and tasks that your athlete needs. And I think for the modern day coach, more so than ever, because of how easy it is to share information on social media, you really need to be good at filtering out the stuff that you could do but you don't necessarily need to, versus your non-negotiables which really need extra time investment. The kind of stuff that if you don't do, your athlete won't progress forwards. Some of it's the obvious stuff, like can they do a handstand? Can they show great shapes? Are they physically strong enough? But sometimes those non-negotiables are a little bit more hidden, and we've got to have the experience and the patience and the understanding of like what is actually necessary. And Dan calls it the magpie effect, because we can just get distracted and magnetized to so many different things that we see. It's not always what your athletes need. So that was from a step. What about doing it from a hop? So you're actually going to take off and land on the same leg, but just do like a mini one. Good. Remember, we're still looking for triple flexion, so we still need the hip, knee, and ankle to flex. That's it. Beautiful. Well done. And now let's see if we can make it bigger. So you're going to travel twice as far, but still land on the same leg that you take off on. Great stuff. Thank you. Cool. Right, spin around. So instead of taking off from one leg and landing on one, we need to take off from 2, but land on 1. Okay, so we've got like loads of power we're creating now, and she's got to stop that energy straight away. Yeah. So again, when the arms move, then there's a good chance that the hip's going to move as well. So parallel hip to the floor. Much better. Lovely control. Beautiful. Okay, cool. Let's see if we can do a step down from this platform. See, like all the progressions just kind of follow the same pattern, don't they? We do them on the floor, we build them up until we get to the point where we can't really safely build it up anymore. Let's just do that one. Yeah. Good.
If I had some little miniature heroes, little gymnasts, where do we start? We're stopping them from arching their backs. We start here. Movement, just holding it. Having to hold our heels in a nice position. Okay, having to hold our hands facing each other with a nice flat back. Okay, we'd hold that for 20 seconds. So that's almost the first stage. Second stage would be we keep everything else still, but we just move our hands. So we start to lengthen the body to ask more of that. So she'll come in and out from there.
So that's a wrap for today's Physical Preparation Masterclass. Been a great day, had some exceptional engagement and great questions from the coaches in attendance, and just really enjoyed it. We've got another event in about 5 weeks' time, 2 more taking place this year. So if you're interested in being at one of these events in the UK, visit nickruddock.com, where you'll find all the information and of course all the recordings of previous events that we've ran to. Thanks for watching, see you next time.